I want to feed the butterflies again. Like, shall we go on a date tonight or shall we cook together? Something small, nothing fancy, nothing big. Just me and him. I don't receive those type of messages anymore.
Because you are angry at him. You want to say it. You want to strangle him. You're so angry. You're so angry.
Sometimes as parents, we get so used to being parents that we forget how to be a couple.
Never have I wanted to divorce my husband more than at 4 a.m. when we're arguing whether this baby has a fever, does she need milk, does she have gas. Honestly, I'm not joking. That is when you look at your partner and you're like, what are we doing? How did we get here? Welcome to the She Word Mums, conversations that mums rarely have, but really should. I am your host, Nerissa Mass. Throughout the first season of the She Word Mums, we have spoken a lot about the journey into motherhood. We have discussed pregnancy, labor and birth, postpartum, and so much more. The one thing that always seems to crop up in these conversations is how unprepared we were for what was to come. Today, we are discussing and bringing to light a change that we may not always feel comfortable talking about, or that perhaps is something that is only discussed in the girls' group chat. And that is how our relationship with our partner changes after we become parents. We spend 9 months preparing the nursery, buying all the baby gear and reading all of the birth books. But very few of us prepare for the shift that happens between a couple once the baby comes home. It is a topic we often feel guilty discussing, but the science backs us up. Studies show that satisfaction often dips because our brains actually rewire to prioritize the infant over the partner. Suddenly, the date night is replaced by doom scrolling on the sofa, and intimacy seems to always get rescheduled. Interestingly, when I was reading up on the topic before this show, I did not find one article which spoke about how a couple actually become closer after becoming parents. But surely that must happen in some situations. And today, to discuss this and so much more, and maybe share a few laughs, I've got 3 wonderful ladies, all mums, all beautiful, and all with a lot to say. I'm going to start with my first guest, who is Marija Attard. Marija is a psychotherapist who specializes in therapy for couples and families, and I was so excited to have you on the show. Maybe a part of it is because I need some therapy, but that's up for debate. And I'm really looking forward to your insights. Welcome to the show, Marija.
Thank you very much.
My second guest is Olivia Saliba Cauchi. Maybe most of you know her as Mummy in a Hurry. Who isn't? Content creator on social media, a tourist guide, and mum of 3. Welcome to the She Word Mums.
Thank you.
Happy to be here?
Very happy.
Lots to say?
Yes.
And my last guest, I'm sure you all know her, is Raisa Brincat Newell, also a content creator on Instagram, more popularly known as My Trio. She's a TV presenter, also a mum of 3. Always on the go, Raisa.
I'm excited to be here as well.
I've nailed them down. So I'm going to dive straight in and ask you a very general question. Did you see a change in the relationship with your partner after you became parents? Don't jump on me.
I think mine, it's a bit different this time because when I met my husband, I already had a 1-year-old.
Okay.
From my previous relationship. So I still saw a big change, from one child to the second and then to the third one. But our relationship started with, I think he was 1 year, 2 months. So
you were already a mummy.
I was already a mummy, and our dates couldn't be like normal couple, you know.
Okay.
It was always with the baby next to us in the middle. We go to restaurants. I always I wanted to take my son with us, but Chris was okay with it, so he was fine. In fact, when I met him, I told him, listen, either you're going to take the whole package or
don't take anything.
Don't take anything. So, but obviously my mom used to help me out to like, okay, Rice, I'm going to stay with your son, you know, and go out, even go for one night or whatever, enjoy your moment. So thanks to my parents that they helped me out to build my relationship, although I had a 1-year-old.
Yeah, interesting.
I also have 2 kids. One is 16, one is 11. And we didn't take too long to have kids. It was just about, so after a year of being together, I got pregnant. So we didn't spend too much time as a couple.
Purposely, or was it an a special blessing, a surprise blessing?
No. The child was planned.
Okay.
But I always wanted kids, and somehow I panicked that I might not manage. So I said, let me start trying. Maybe in 2-3 years' time, I have a kid. I started trying, and I had a kid immediately. So I was blessed on that side. I mean, we didn't have to struggle to have kids, thankfully. So obviously, our relationship immediately changed once you have children, and then with the second one, and now somehow, slowly, things are settling down. And you mentioned earlier how studies find that once you become a parent, relationships don't get better, something like that.
No, people tend to experience less satisfaction.
Yes, of course, especially in the very, very beginning. But once you start settling down, now even I've been through it, the struggles of the beginning of parenthood, but now that things are settling down and working on our relationship, working on ourselves, things do start getting better. So it's not all dooms.
I did see a slight change.
Slight. That's good. Slight is good.
Slight, because I spent 2 years dating him, 6 years married without kids.
Wow.
So you can imagine that slight difference. At the beginning, just me and him and 2 cats in the house. Everything was left, like when I left the house for work, everything was in order. We had our...
That's nice.
I think in your cases, because it was faster, like it's a different thing. But to me, it was a shock.
Yes.
So we were used to having the table clear, everything clean, just me and him. Like at 8 o'clock, we were having dinner, everything was already washed, and all of a sudden, the big change, lots of chaos. With one, I used to think it was a mess, and I didn't want any more kids. In fact, after the first one, because she cried all the time, we didn't have time for each other, not at all, not even talking to each other, because she was the one doing the talking. But then after the second and after the third, we didn't even realize we were at home. Like, it was that bad. But until they're young, I think. Now it's already getting a bit better. But as a relationship, then you have to prioritize it. You have to jot it down in your diary to make sure that it's there. It's like you have the extracurricular activities for the kids. You have that thing with your husband.
How interesting.
I take them as serious as that. Like, we don't always manage, but we need to talk.
I remember I used to write, we have a shared calendar. That's also really helpful for us, a shared calendar. And I used to schedule for my husband, speak to your wife.
That's good.
Every day. I mean, at least it's a little reminder that we really need to prioritize. Like the same way we schedule all the running around with the kids, our work, obviously, maybe taking care of ourselves. Also, we need to sometimes make a real reminder to find time for each other.
But the thing is, it depends. Has to come from my end to like, hello, your wife is here. Hello, can we go on a date? Why in my case, obviously, why I have to remind him to go out on a date? Why I have to remind him, listen, the kids are out today, like, what can we do? Something different. I don't like it. It has to come from my end.
But I think it always comes from one end. You have to grab it.
All the time.
All the time, it's tiring.
No, it has to come as well from his end.
And it's nice when you feel like you're cared for. And this I'm sure we'll talk about this, the mental load. Why do you also have to, what hassle almost to think, like, where are you going to keep the kids? If they are young, they can stay alone. You have to take them some. So you are the one responsible for calling your parents or someone takes care of the kids, checking that they have everything, they have nothing the next day, planning where you're gonna go, where if you want to book something, and then the partner just comes, dresses up, where are we going, and off we go.
No effort. I don't like it.
So it's nice that this is shared, but it's also obviously if they got used to this that way, our partners, it's a comfortable way. It's easy to fall into this position. So we could easily talk to our partners and tell them, listen, I do enjoy organizing our dates, but once in a while, it's nice to feel taken care of, and you take me out like they used to do probably when you were just starting out.
You've touched on so many points already. Olivia touched on something which I wanted to pick on, which is what changes is the kind of the spontaneous You know, before you have kids, it's almost like, shall we go out for dinner tonight? I don't fancy cooking. Yes, let's go wherever. But then you have to put it in the diary. You have to schedule time for it. Doesn't that remove the romance, though? The fact that,
I call them the butterflies.
yes, the excitement of...
I want to feed the butterflies again. Like, text me while I'm at work, for example. Hey, Rai, I don't know, shall we go on a date tonight or shall we cook together? Something small, nothing fancy, nothing big, just me and him. I don't receive those type of messages anymore. And I'm not happy about it.
Did you receive them before? Was
Not just a text message. I used to receive flowers and envelopes, one pink, one red, choose which one. And either we go that restaurant, either we go... Okay, I'm not expecting to be the same. I know, because we are busy, we have 3 kids, so it's okay. The only thing that I don't like, and he knows about it, and I like to put him on the table and please, let's discuss this issue. But we always end up at the same and again and again.
Yeah.
Like, we need our time. We're still young.
yes.
And when we are 50, okay, I agree with you because you pointed out that it will get better when the kids get older.
If you work, second, if you work
If I work
on
for
it,
it, yes.
not work for it, work on it.
On it. Work on it. Agree.
Both partners.
Agree.
So it's not just one way.
In my case,
If it's just one way, it's
since my kids are a bit older and they have already girlfriends and boyfriends, my kids in the weekend, my house, it's always full, which I love.
Yes.
I love my
Yes,
house being
yes.
full. But where is our time?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say to my kids, hey guys, so Sunday, please go somewhere else because, you know, it's not nice. But if my husband helps me out a bit, listen, Rai, Saturday and Sunday is going to be family. Ma Friday night, let's do a date.
Yes. So I feel like, yes, you need to schedule it, but it needs to come both ways.
From both sides.
Because there's also, like you said, Maria, you want to feel cared for. You want to feel like you're still a priority for him.
Want it as well.
He wants you.
I hate
he's
that I'm
interested.
begging him
Yes.
to take me on a date, begging him to hold my hands. You know?
Open the car door. I know what you mean. And Maria, you touched upon something else as well. You need to work on it because, yes, when the kids get older, it gets easier. But if you've not spoken from
You
the kids,
don't
from when you've had a
recognize.
baby
No.
till now the kids are 16 and they don't want to spend time with you anymore.
You won't recognize. You say, who's this man?
Thank you all. You lose the
You
spark.
lose the spark.
And it's not good.
But realistically, you have a newborn. You brought the newborn home. The newborn is not sleeping. I mean, I'm
no,
going to
not
talk
that.
from my perspective. Never have I wanted to divorce my husband more than at 4 a.m. when we're arguing whether this baby has a fever. Does she need milk? Does she have gas? Honestly, I'm not joking. That is when you look at your partner and you're like, what are we doing? How did we get here? This person that pre-kids, we barely had an argument, maybe about wedding flowers and whether we should invite his great aunt or not to the wedding, you know? And now we are here, we are bickering every day, we are not having time to talk. Again, once the kids are asleep, all you want is to sit down, not look at anyone, not talk to anyone. How?
You can't rate your marriage on that period. It's like, imagine our day, you can't rate a person on when he's sleeping with
Drool coming down,
that's
snoring.
the worst. Imagine your life
true.
as a day.
Yes.
Your period, like when you have young kids, it's in that particular moment. So there is a lot more and a lot more to come.
But you can make it less horrible.
But
Otherwise,
it's hard.
what can happen is that it might be the end of it. Like that phase, it is a phase. If during that phase you still don't take care of each other, we're not expecting big things. We can't go for a weekend break when you have a 3-month-old.
Exactly.
But like micro rituals kind of that at least while you're breastfeeding, you know, dressed up or your hair, God knows how it's looking, whatever. At least when he passes by, a little tap or a squeeze on your shoulder, a little bit of tenderness. If you're watching TV and, you know, you have maybe a child or whatever, grabs a bit your hand and squeezes a bit your hand. You put your feet next to, at least if you're watching TV or have a sleep, your feet on top of each other, a bit of physical contact. These little micro, most rituals, but little, we're not expecting big things. Passing by, little kiss on the forehead, for example.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
We're not expecting, wild, we'll talk about intimacy, wild sex when,
No, it's not
but
about that.
tenderness, attention, just that sometimes that look like, little things so that you can survive it. And if you survive it, then obviously you can keep building to a point when you have older kids and you can say, we got there. We made it, kind of.
I think what you really want to do, like instead of the kiss on the forehead, is put your leg out so he falls in your face.
Trip him over.
I need you to come over to my house. We need to do a lecture with you.
But you put your feet in and you say,
But that takes lots of control. It takes lots of control. And sometimes we can't voice. Like right now, I'm upset. Without knowing, we are tired, you don't feel good about yourself because your body is completely different, the way it feels, you don't even recognize yourself. So you might snap at your partner, so you can say, sorry for snapping, it came out really badly, but I'm really tired right now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't expect to have a deep conversation you said you put your husband at the table and have a conversation.
Yes.
Good. But when you have a 2-month-old, you don't afford the time and the energy.
No.
So we can't expect to say, okay, let's talk tonight. Let's have a deep conversation. You can't last 2 hours deep conversation.
No.
So little ways of fixing things, everything in this time is like micro rituals, micro repair, everything is micro this time. So sorry, I snapped at you, I'm really tired, little ways, at least things don't escalate, no?
that's true.
And you don't have to make him trip and fall.
It's interesting because I think, let's be honest, when you become a mom, you become a new person. You're not the same
You're not
person
the
you
same.
were before.
Agree.
Your priorities change, the way you see life changes, everything changes. And so in that is how you nurture your relationship. Whereas before, your relationship was doing really well because you had time for each other. Now you need to find different ways of being able to keep that alive. And that's, like you said, in those micro rituals. I wanted to ask, in your experience, this is just mainly for my curiosity, but when couples do come to therapy,
Okay.
if you had to say, how often is parenthood or something that happened because of parenthood, the lack of communication that happened, how often is that the cause for a marriage breakdown?
Let's not say breakdown for now. Let's say for marital or couple issues or
Yes.
unhappiness,
Because I mean, if we had to
Yes.
say, there are sometimes marriages have issues because of financial,
Yes.
extramarital affairs. But how many how many people come to you and say, actually, when we look back, it was actually probably after the birth of our daughter. Or
Sometimes they don't realize, in reality, they think that it's because it's part of, that's how it happens. They don't realize immediately that parenthood changed them so much. And obviously then immediately once you realize they have kids, you realize that, okay, how were you before all this? And very, very often things were much different. And somehow I have quite a few of my clients who are parents. I think sometimes you attract people who are similar to you somehow in therapy. So maybe when they said I'm a parent as well, some couples used to come, they think that we have similar things, so I might understand them better maybe. And yes, I have quite a few clients who are also parents, and the struggles and the challenges are very much tied to becoming parents and how they're navigating this new time in their life.
Take care and indulge in the liberation of smooth, hair-free skin. Browns, empowering wellness through its excellence in laser hair removal.
Whether for a moment of disconnection, a complete body-mind reset, or a bonding time together, book online stress-free at myoka.com. Complimentary spa facilities on every visit.
As your child starts to explore the world, every step helps them build resilience. Backed by 50 years of breast milk research, Aptamil Pro-Nutra Stage 3 is a nutritionally tailored formula with vitamin C and D that contributes to the normal function of the immune system and with NutriFibers. Aptamil Pro-Nutra Stage 3. Your life, our science.
I want to touch upon, I think you all mentioned it a little bit, probably Raisa more, without saying the word, but resentment. So you become a new mom. I don't know if this happened to you, but in the very early days as well. You can't remember if you had a shower yesterday or today. You probably have some of your child sick on your hair.
Yes.
But all the while, your husband wakes up in the morning, has a shower, goes to work, has an adult conversation, probably has a hot coffee. And you're thinking, wow, your life carried on the same.
He's lucky. He became a parent as well, but he's lucky.
So he gets the joy of coming home with the child, and I am stuck here all day. How does that, because I've read a lot about resentment and that it's sometimes worse than anger. It's one of the worst feelings you can have because it's the one that builds. And once it builds to the point, it just explodes. How did you feel did you feel resentment? Does it happen to everyone? Did you overcome it? How did you overcome it?
I didn't mind being the one at home. I mean, but it's different, as I said.
Yes.
I had been working for a very long time. I had been seeing my friends having babies, so I didn't want in the beginning. So that's why it was a bit later. So then it was nice. I was at home. I was looking forward to that period. What I was angry about and what made me really sad was that I was looking ugly. I felt ugly, fat, horrible, because I didn't have the time to go to the hairdresser, to go to a facial. Like if someone had offered, anyone, because I didn't get any help. If someone offered, I used to breastfeed, she was just breastfed every quarter of an hour, so I had the worst of the worst. So I had to be with her all the time. Then, all of a sudden, I said, listen, I have to put my foot down. I have to do, if no one is going to help me, if I'm the only one taking care of this kid, she's going to come with me everywhere. So while I was dyeing my hair, she was breastfeeding. I said, listen, I have to get up again. I used to go to the gym. I used to leave her behind the glass because they told me, no, you can't take her inside. So I used to leave her just on the table. I used to do the machines just next to her over it. Like I forced myself to look good again, to start, getting up again. I said, from now on, but that took a lot of time. A lot of time. I think after 40, it rang a bell. Listen, I'm not expecting anyone to change my life. Before, for example, I had a boyfriend who used to do everything. Like for my birthday, he used to even give me a trip as a surprise, parties, surprise, dinners. When I went out with my husband for the first time, it was my birthday and I expected, he told me we're going to eat at a restaurant. It was very famous. Okay, and I said, oh my God, my mom is coming, my sister is coming. I dressed up because everyone is going to be there. And then I get there and I see a table for two. I started crying. I went to the toilet. I cried my eyes out because I was used to
big, extravagant.
And I was still young as well. I mean, I was 22. So I was expecting this big thing and there was nothing. So year after year, I was always expecting something. And then I said, listen, I'm not going to expect anything. Yes. I'm going to do it myself. Now it's my birthday in 10 days. So I'm really looking forward to what I'm organizing for myself, what I'm going to buy as a present, as expensive as possible. So I try taking care of myself. Yes, this is me. If it's the character, I don't think the character can really change.
But that's also...
I accepted it.
That's also a coping strategy, right? For the resentment in terms of... You have to say, I can't blame my husband that I'm not having time to go to the hairdresser because he's at work. I can't look at my husband and say, oh, you're enjoying a hot coffee while I can't. It has to come from me.
Or ask for it. Because sometimes we have become we were talking before the show started, we have become very independent and we can do it all. Like I was like, wow, I was completely impressed with what she was taking the kid to the gym. We are so used to nowadays it's almost expected of us to do it all. It's impossible. We need help and we have to accept help, and if we don't get this help or if no one offers this help, we have to ask for it. Isma, I would like to have a shower without having to get out 2 or 3 times because the baby is crying. So please take care of the kid while I have a shower. We're not expecting big things, but ask for help. Sometimes we expect that this is what happens, resentment, like you feel all this anger, all this, all this, what is the verse is you're feeling. And you think that the other person knows exactly what you're thinking. No one reads minds.
No one.
No.
He should
I
know
learned
that I'm
it.
tired. He should know I want a cup
No.
of coffee. He should know that I want this.
No.
Ask for it. Isma, next time, tell him your birthday is coming up. Tell him, Isma, I would like to have a big party. Can you organize it for me?
No.
You can get help. There are party organizers.
How hard is it?
When I had my second child, I didn't want help either from my mother or from my mother-in-law. It's like I wanted to do it
Yourself.
exactly, myself. I don't know why. And obviously I had my son already and I had Paris. And I was like from the morning till the evening, all the time with the PJ, my hair is a mess, no lip gloss. It's like all the time, the same routine. I wake up with the PJs and again end up with the PJs. And then my mother, she was like, Rai, you have help. You have your mother-in-law, she wants to help you out. I can help you out with my son. Take it. Why? Go out. Go work at least 4 hours a day. You'll feel good. You put on some makeup. I gained a lot of weight. So you need to do something. And I was like, okay, why I'm not accepting their help? Why? Because I want to be proud of myself. No, my kids are mine, so I'm going to stay with them in the morning till the evening. But why? I'm lucky I have... And then I decided, yes, my mother-in-law, she helped me a lot with my girls especially, and my mom with my son. And yes, I went out to the world, like working again, taking care of myself, start to buy some clothes for work, putting on makeup. Every Saturday I do my hair, and I felt good, even for my husband.
Did that impact your relationship?
Yes.
You feeling good in yourself?
Yes.
In what way?
Even when he comes from work, he's not seeing me again with the PJ, with my hair like, big bun. I'm like coming from the office with my heels on, like, I don't know. It felt different. It felt different. It felt good in my case.
In my case, I lost the frustration that I was like becoming very, very bad. So at least looking good makes you feel good sometimes.
Yes, for sure.
Even a
for
shower
sure,
makes you feel
for
good.
sure.
Exactly.
And feeling useful, because even though, let's be honest, I mean, raising children and young children who need you 24/7, now in hindsight, we're like, I will tell any new mom, you're doing so much. You're breastfeeding, you're doing so much. You sitting in front of the telly with a baby breastfeeding and keeping it alive, that's all you need to be doing. That's, but during that time, you feel like you're not doing anything, you're not contributing, you're not...
But this is Yahasra, very sad. We're living in a world where unless you're working full-time, fully productive, it's like you're a lesser woman, kind of. I mean, you mentioned that you were happy to stay at home and enjoy the kids. Brilliant. You were a full-time mom and a housewife. So why does it have to be that to feel good and to feel productive, successful, we have to go out to work? For some people, it might work that way and it's okay. I'm not saying it's not, but why do we have this pressure that we have to work or perform and contribute to the economy to feel good about ourselves?
My excitement didn't last that long because I stopped when I had my daughter.
Yes. We are pressured.
After 2 years.
We are
After
pressured.
2 years, I wanted to leave.
Yes, but 2 years is one thing. But if you, I also stopped a bit with my kids. 1 year with one kid, and 2 years with the other one, the second one. So I did stop a bit, but there are people who feel pressured not even to stop those 3 months.
No, that's not
And
good.
it's sad that nature-wise, even a monkey or a gorilla, you see the baby hanging onto this gorilla.
No, I don't regret it. I
For
did
a
2 years
year?
each.
Yes.
Just stay me a bit more because there was
heartbreaking
COVID.
to leave the kids. I remember because I was working for a bit and then I stopped after the 3 months. I was crying my eyes out, leaving this little creature,
baby,
you know, it was with a family member. So it should feel less horrible, but still, no. So why are we pressured so much? And again, we're talking about the couplehood, no?
Yes.
So this impacts the couplehood. How can you have the energy for your partner when you're working so much? There's so much, everyone kind of trying to take away from you from every end, you know? It's difficult.
One thing I would do differently, for example, now I'm thinking about it while you're talking. I think even, okay, you tell me, maybe a lot of feminists will tell me, what are you saying? But you have to talk to your husband. You have to discuss when you should go to work.
Yes.
Like, I know that my husband, now looking back, I know that my husband would have wanted me. I keep hearing his voice now and what he used to tell me. I think he wanted me to stay longer.
Yes, that's so interesting.
I think he wanted me to
The
stay
gift of
longer.
hindsight.
I think that frustration from his side was that I went to work. Why did you go now? Like, we're in the middle of this all. Why did you?
That's so interesting, the hindsight and understanding how important it is to communicate, which brings me back to my point as well. How can we, pre-becoming parents, I mean, surely this is something we should be discussing, you know, if we, as part of the
expectations.
The expectation.
Again,
I was going to mention expectations a bit further on, but and we spoke a little bit yesterday, and that's where I included it in my notes. The expectation, the expectation that post baby we will feel the same, we will bounce back, we will go back to work. Post baby, after our 6-week checkup, we're okay to have sex, our relationship with our partner will continue as it is. And I think the frustration, the panic, you know, when we are bickering with our partner a bit more comes because we've raised the bar with our expectations. And in hindsight, we would have said, it's only 2 years. Of course, you're not going to be on good terms with your husband if none of you are sleeping through the night. Of course, you're not going to be on good terms with your husband if he's coming home exhausted after a day's work, but he sees you're exhausted, he's trying to help you. You're so frustrated, you're snapping at him, you know? Of course. But when you're in it, you're like, this is the end. This is the end. How can I ever recover from this? Is there a way we can go into parenthood and somehow prepare ourselves? Because again, this is like birth. You don't really know what's going to happen in that delivery room. And people will tell you before you have a baby, wait for the sleepless nights. And you're like, yes, it's fine. I'm used to going out till 4 a.m. I'll be fine. And then it hits you and you're like, oh, this is different. How can we open those lines of communication with our partner to try and prepare us to not hit that massive crash that so many people
I think it
through?
goes down to communication again.
But how we're communicating and what we're communicating as well, obviously. So before, I think few people actually discuss, like, once we have kids, who will stop? Who will stop? Because you mentioned about feminism. Why is it always the woman who stops working?
It still is mostly the woman.
It is, and legally speaking, I mean, there is the maternity leave. It's for, I think, 4 months. Here in Malta, it's very, very low compared to other countries in Europe. Paid. And then how many men in Malta really and truly use
I think 10 days they've
yes,
got.
until now.
I was going to say 3 weeks, but I was
in
wrong.
my time it was
3 days.
2 or 3 days.
Yes, and mine 3 days.
So society
Senti was
away.
okay with it. I sent to make it clear.
Society itself is telling us
I sent him away.
That after 3 days, the husband or the father, his responsibility kind of is out after those 3 days. Why isn't there a structure which supports fathers? Because there has to be a structure that supports fathers, and fathers have to fight for it as well. That gives them more time with their own children. So, okay, I understand the first maybe year, the mother, because physically we have to breastfeed.
No, I want it.
Up till now, we don't have fathers who breastfeed. So when there's breastfeeding, it's a bit obvious. But then, at least after 1 year, maybe the second year, maybe the father stops working,
This is it, because we're in 2026. And I know for a fact that now most dads, let's compare them to dads when we were growing up, want to be more present. We have come very far in terms of woman's flexibility at work. But how normalized is it for a man? When a mom says, oh, I need to go pick up the kids from school, I need to leave the office at 3, it's starting to become the norm where we're like, yes, of course, you need to leave. Or the children are unwell, I can't come into the office. Fine. How normal is it when a dad says it?
I think nowadays.
Is it?
Because even when I take my kids, I see a lot of dads. Sometimes I'm the only
It's
mom.
true. Even
at the
Parents'
playing
Day.
field.
Parents' Day. Even when I was young, my mom used to go to
course.
Parents' Day.
Nice.
Always, you see all women, moms.
Yes.
But nowadays, Parents' Day,
Things are
for
shifting a
example,
bit.
for the last 4 years, I think, my husband goes for the Parents' Day.
But
It's
that's
not so common. I work in a school as well. I'm a teacher, I'm a guidance teacher. I make it a point that whenever I need to call a parent, I first call the father. I make it a point.
Pero?
And whenever like a colleague of mine, like an assistant head, is going to do a call, tell her, let me call the mother. Tell her, why not the father? I always question.
My husband, he enjoys
No?
it. He goes to the Parents' Day.
So
But we should normalize all of those things, because I think that will also help the relationship, and that the couple feels like a team.
I will tell you something. Even, nowadays we have the WhatsApp group chats
Yes.
with the class teacher or with the parents.
Yes.
I'm not in it. My husband is in it.
but that's not very common. Huh?
My husband is in it.
How many
'Cause we
other
change. I think there are some few. He's not just him. Emma, to be honest, my phone, it's crazy. It's like a Christmas tree all the time. So obviously we communicated together. We changed a bit our
That's brilliant.
roles
So
at
if only
home.
more people
In fact,
become
I
like that.
work till 7 every day, and he's at home 2 every day. So when the kids comes from school, they'll find him. He starts cooking for the kids, etc. He takes care of the emails of school and the WhatsApp group chat. Because we communicated, because I couldn't help it.
Yes.
I couldn't do everything.
But that makes you feel validated.
Yeah, that's very good, yes.
In the relationship, that you are a team. And sometimes, and we were talking about this before, there is an element of competition. How many nappies did you change? I was awake 3 hours last night. You can't complain that you are tired because you slept through the night. I heard you.
No,
there's a lot of that
You
going
can't
on.
compare these type of things because you will go nowhere.
But it comes from both parties in the relationship and taking responsibility and meeting halfway.
But what we said would happen when there's this competition is because we both have needs. We both feel unheard. So you just keep trying. I did it, like, listen to me, I'm here, see me, hear me, And the other person also needs that. So instead of saying, Isma, I feel unseen, I don't feel that you hear me or don't listen to me and you don't understand me, we end up with this bickering or who did what and I did more than you did less, which is obviously not healthy, and as it can really drift people apart.
Nowadays, I start to understand more. Before, I used to work like from 8 till 1 and I pick up the kids from school and I'm at home. And my husband, he's a chef, so he used to work late. Nowadays, I work till 7, and when I go back home, definitely I'm not going to say those type of words like, I've been working all day till 7 and you are here at home. No, because I know how it feels being at home, okay, with the kids, cooking for them. We have 3 cats, now a dog, so...
It's a full house.
For him, he stopped from his job as a chef at 2, but from 2.5, he started a new job at home.
Yes.
So
but that's
I
good.
understand
You've
him
got
100.
You've got perspective because you've
been
both
through
done
it.
the
I've been
role.
there.
So sometimes, for example, and I apologize to my husband in advance for saying this, but sometimes when he takes over what I would do on a day-to-day basis, he's very hands-on. He is very hands-on. But sometimes he will do the behind-the-scenes work. So I will, he will give them a bath, whatever, but I will be the one who has washed their pajamas, prepared their pajamas, prepared their uniform for school. So when I leave everything to him, and he says, oh, but I really enjoyed it. Of course, that was one day.
Exactly.
You had the kids for one day, but you didn't need to worry about, hang on a second, do I need to wash his shoes for PE? But no, that's Thursday. I won't be doing that, It's a one day, and it's beautiful for one day because all you do is spend quality time.
Exactly.
Most of the time I would have left food in the fridge or food in the freezer. He doesn't need to have the mental load, and that's that mental load which drives the couple apart, because let's be honest, once you have kids, your mental load increases by 250%. And if you don't share that burden, you can never
Or
understand
voice
each
it
other.
at least. You voice this and share this load. You voice it. This is too much for me, but sometimes it's difficult for us to admit it. So you share what's bothering you, what you need differently as a mother, as a partner. So you need to share it, and hopefully the other person is receptive, is understanding, and supports you or listens to you and works on it. Maybe we have to repeat this a few times until they completely get it.
Yeah.
But plus the other person's responsibility, if they don't know what you need or the other person doesn't voice it, ask. If you don't know what to do, because sometimes they are not used to doing certain things in the house or with the kids. So, okay, I think I see that you need help. So how can I help you? I don't know what you need from me right now. So one has the responsibility to ask for help, and the other one has the responsibility to offer any help that the other person might need. So it takes two.
I think mostly in my case, when you are opposites, I learned it the hard way during the wedding and the house. I did not choose anything in the house. I'm not really that kind of person. So as long as it's a kitchen, a bedroom, I don't mind. So he took care of the house. He chose everything. He designed the kitchen. I remember him coming to measure me from here to here to see if I passed from behind the island to the cupboard. So he took care of all that, and I took care of the wedding and the honeymoon. When we were on the plane, I remember he told me, "Where are we going?" We're that bad. I mean,
Not
we
that
can't.
bad, that's good.
Exactly,
Because you
as
organize yourselves, whatever mattered the most for you. Maybe for you, the wedding mattered, the celebration. And for him, the house was
house
a
is
bit
more
more. So
important.
you
Exactly.
split the roles. So
but
that
he
helped.
concentrated on that. He didn't have me complaining, "No, I want that color." No, he was happy choosing the things on his own. If he likes it, he has it. I was happy choosing the flowers, the dresses and everything, and he didn't say. So we fought less.
Yes.
I imagine people fight on the house, on the
Yes,
wedding.
yes, yes.
So we didn't fight at all because we were taking care of our thing. And the same thing now. That's what we do. Because if, like cooking, he cooks. If I go in the kitchen, we start arguing. Why did you fill it up so much? You were going to... So I get out of the way. I go into the clothes.
Yes.
In my case, I would love to ask him maybe to do some more things while he's at home. Maybe he does them. But I like things my way sometimes.
Yes. But
But with parents, it's a bit different because certain values and the way we bring up kids, it's not, you can't easily say, oh, we let him choose like a
Yes.
wardrobe. I mean, bringing up your kids, most people feel very strongly about. So we can't just say, oh,
Homework, for example, I want to be with them.
I just feel alive. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I got that lifestyle, I'm fierce as hell. That blended top model, that husky fast throttle. Living it up, you know I love it. It said I just feel alive. 'Cause all I got is what I am, and I'm on fire. And what you want is what I am, baby, that's fine. What all the kids said, I just feel alive.
Something about the way you bounce makes me want to keep you around my mind, my mind. Something about the way you sound shakes me up and makes me get down on my, my.
Periods are part of the game, but they don't have to throw you off your game. Try new Always Platinum for up to 100% leak protection, faster absorption, dry feel, and it's more cushiony, so you can focus on your game. It's a new period, always.
But you mentioned something, and it ties back a little bit to your point where you said, I let him choose. And I think it's giving him autonomy. And sometimes when it comes to kids, again, because, I'm a bit like you. I don't really care what color tile you choose. But I do very much care that our children have a strict routine. They go to bed at 7,
And that's the trouble when you have kids.
And because they are the most precious thing in the world. And you're like, God forbid, if we don't put them to sleep at 7, they will become horrible adults, which is stupid. But in your head, you focus so much on these things. And your differences come about because you were brought up one way with certain values. He was brought up another. We're both bringing values to the table, which are a bit different, but they're the same kids. And we're trying to impose the same different values on the kids. And sometimes he says to me, you don't give me autonomy. If I'm with the kids and I want to do bath time at 6:30 and I want to give them a chocolate before bed, it's fine. It's one time. Why do you have to, give me strict instructions by the minute?
Sometimes these things clash. Like one person is much more relaxed about certain rules. One is much more stricter with certain things. And then it can impact the relationship.
Yes.
So if, for example, the mother doesn't want that the kid sleeps next to them in between them in bed, but maybe the husband is not, if you don't agree, this will surely impact the relationship. Mela, if the kid is in between, obviously physical intimacy, let's say it's much more difficult, if not impossible, So, and obviously it's impacting the relationship.
Yes.
So it has to be spoken about if both don't agree,
I gave up.
Threaten him. You can threaten him.
I gave up.
Give him a chocolate and forget it tonight.
I gave up.
But I think that is one of the main causes of bickering as well, is because before you're arguing over kitchen cupboards. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, not important. But if you're arguing over about how you are raising your child, it is such a big decision. Every mother and every father wants to do a great job at raising their kids. And obviously you come at it from, this is how I was raised. Obviously, this is the right way to do it. And he comes at it from, no, this is how I was raised.
It's my way.
This
Or
is
the
how
other way. I was brought up this way. I don't want my kids to go through this same.
Exactly. So I come at
Exactly.
it from,
Exactly.
my husband will say to me, why are you saying no? But if we can give him 3 toys for his birthday, I'm like, no, because I want to teach him the value of money. And I want to teach him the value that you don't get everything just because mommy and daddy are working hard and they can afford it. And you come at it with what we are trying to learn is, listen, what are your top boundaries that I really need to respect here? That with the kids, I won't overstep them. And what can you be flexible on? Can you be flexible that when I'm around, the kids have a chocolate before bed? Is that really so important to you? Fine. But, you do you. But please, if we've said no more toys, let's not buy him more toys. And you come to this compromise, which again is so hard. The compromise of what matters and
It's
what
very
doesn't.
complex, Already marriage, so you have a family, a mom, a dad, a kid, a mom, a dad, a kid. Maybe this a bit more educated, this a bit less, a bit messier, a bit more. And these 2 kids meet. So you already have a black and a white.
Yes.
And then you are bringing up kids together.
Yes.
But you can't expect them to be like this family or like this family.
No.
You
So
make up your
sometimes I
own
think,
nice combination with all the different values and ways.
I think you just do your own. Follow your instinct, like if it's good for your kid. Sometimes, for example, this is a big thing in my house. If I'm doing something, I think it's good. He thinks it's not good. So it's bad. But I know a lot of people do it. Like, I'm doing it. Like, other people are doing it as well. For me, it's good. No, that's the worst thing you can do.
Yes.
For
yes.
some people,
Yes.
like putting this glass over here would be a tragedy. But for me, it's something normal that I do every day.
And how often does the intrusion from other family members
Oh, that's you're adding even more to the,
make it,
to the burden,
because,
to the
because then you
didn't.
go to vent to your own mom and you'll say something like, oh my God, I try to do this, he doesn't agree, and your mother's fueling you.
Of
Of
course,
course, that's how you should do
definitely.
it.
That's a no-no. That's a big no-no. When you have problems with your husband, you don't tell your mom or your sister, or in my case, my mom or my sister. Never, never, because you are angry at him. You want to, you want to strangle him. You're so angry. And then the night comes, some candles, and you're okay in the morning.
Exactly. You make up,
But
but-
your mom hates him because he
Yes.
hurt your
Agree.
No.
And that's also with
Tell
the
your
kids.
friend, because she can hate him. I mean, but
You still have to be
you're right.
careful. You have to protect the relationship because not everyone, your friend might say certain things.
I know that
even
friend,
your friend.
I mean that friend. That friend
So we
that
have to be
listens
careful.
and doesn't judge.
In my case, if I tell my mom anything, I go a bit and vent a bit to my mom. Unfortunately, she sides with my husband. I can't speak to his mom because we can't communicate because of the language. So no one sides with me, unfortunately, because my mom with my husband,
Same.
everyone with my husband. So I'm left a bit on my own, kind of. So, but the thing is, even in front of the kids, like, the kids might see us arguing, maybe shouting at each other. It's not healthy. Please don't fight and argue in front of the kids.
But I think
Keep your
a bit.
no,
I mean, that's
it's
the
not
real
healthy.
life. I mean, not
Depends what
fighting.
arguments, joking
depends.
around, but big fights or whatever. Don't kind of how do you say?
The tennis ball effect.
All the time the kids
contradict.
around.
Contradict the other person in front of their, or say, you see your father or your mom what she did.
that's
no.
Never,
Okay.
because the kids just see you fight, but they don't see you make up, as you're saying. They see you fight only. They will not know that you made up, and in the morning it's okay again. So we have to be very careful. And also, besides, unfortunately, sometimes we show a lot the arguing to our kids, but not the love. You know, I don't know, but not every family has the culture of kind of kissing or hugging, holding each other in front of the kids. So we have to be careful because the kids might not see the love as well, just the arguing. which is not nice.
I realized that with my youngest one. I think she saw all the fighting, of course, COVID times when we were home, like we were really bad. And I think we used to not fight, but raise our voice
Yes,
sometimes.
yes.
She saw the differences between
Yes.
us. And that's when I think I calmed down a bit in the house as well. And like I started like going to hug him. And she tells me, Mom, can I see you kiss Dad?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
that's
yes.
the sweetest thing, I think.
And then, because you don't love, Daddy doesn't love you. You don't love Daddy. You're not in love. Kiss him so I see you.
Yes, that's
Like
so
she
sweet.
wanted like,
I do it at home as
and
well.
now we
eh?
do
Yes.
it.
And now,
for
obviously, I have
dinner.
17-year-old, 15-year-old, and they're like,
And she loves
Ma,
it.
stop. And I'm like, you hug your boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yes.
I hug daddy as
And I
well.
think it's really important. I mean, the other day I had a conversation. My son is still 5, but my husband and I had an argument, and then I was taking my son to school. And I said, listen, when mommy and daddy argue, it's very, it's not because we don't love each other. It's because we disagree on certain things. I love your daddy very much. And, you'll see us when we come home this evening. We'll be fine because normally we would have discussed it over WhatsApp or called each other during the day. And you will see we are fine because we love each other and we'll always come back together. It's just normal because we live together. We don't
Exactly.
agree on everything, but it's not because we don't love each other. And I think it's really important that you're right. We shouldn't argue in front of the kids. But if we do, let's set the example the other way, that it's normal to fight, but it's also normal to make up, and that we still love each other, and that these things are, we don't live in this perfect family where it's all hugs and kisses and rings
Exactly.
On
and
the same
unicorns.
thing, you were saying that you were telling your son that although you still love him. How many of us actually would be really angry and say this, like, I'm really angry right now, even though I said I love you still, but I'm really angry right now. So although we are angry or frustrated or feeling misunderstood, we can still say, I'm angry at you, but I still love you. Right now, I'm angry, I still love you.
Yes.
So to the kids, you're saying, but I don't. Do we say it to our partners in the heat of the moment?
No, if I'm angry, I'm
Difficult.
angry. The love you word doesn't come out from my
How
mouth.
can I
so-
say I love you and I want to throw a vase at his
Young,
face?
with
And
young
I'm
kids.
seeing-
with young kids, when you have young kids and all this exhaustion, tired, you say, I'm really tired right now, but I still love you and we're having a tough time, but we're in this together, And every day, if it happens every day, it doesn't have to be the worst time of your life. Actually, it can be a very precious time with your little ones. So why do we have to kind of make it, we say it was the worst time of my life as a relationship as well, So we have to be careful.
I agree that obviously it's not nice arguing
Yes.
in front of the kids. But in my house, my kids are all the time.
Same.
So at what time I can argue with your father? That's the reality. I can't hide it. So I'm not going to say that I don't do it. Unfortunately,
we are also
I do
Maltese,
it.
very passionate.
That's not an
I do
excuse.
it. Unfortunately,
Ask my husband. Tell him I don't care that you're passionate Maltese and you'll use your hands all the time, but this is not the way. So, but you can press the pause button. With my clients, I'm always telling them, press the pause button. Then they come the next time to tell me, I pressed it, but she kept going. She kept
the
going. He
thing
kept going.
is, okay, I'll do the pause button, but the thing is that when the kids are included in the fight, like for example, at the moment, it's been now years, not months or weeks. Ava, she's going to be 10 soon. She still sleeps with us
Every night.
every night. There comes a time that, like, okay, mom, today I'm gonna try it. And I'm like excited, let's go, let's do this. I tuck her into bed, we do some YouTube or maybe she get a book or something and she will fall asleep. It's fine that at 4 o'clock she wakes up suddenly and comes next to us. It's okay. I had my time with Daddy, with my husband. At least we saw a movie or something. After a week,
She goes back.
but the problem, it comes from my husband. He's like, come, Ava, you want to come next to us? And again, and again. Or maybe I go abroad for 3 nights, and then I come back and, ara, mela Ava, she's sleeping in the middle again. Because you were abroad, and now we start over again.
Yes.
I fight with Chris in front of her, because now she's old, she knows. She doesn't want to try.
I get you.
But she can't. Why should she go if she knows that she has the support of someone else?
I know.
So this is.
And then she goes into her bed like sad.
It's okay. No one ever died from being sad.
And then I have my husband like this in bed. What
So
the hell?
the
He's
thing
gonna
is
say like
either
this,
one or
I'm
the
gonna get
other.
nothing, so come over.
No.
And I'm like making him happy, her happy, and I'm not feeling the
unhappy.
bonding of my husband. That is the reality.
That's not right.
And that leads us to the very nice topic of Raisa with her daughter sleeping in her bed, the nice topic of sex. How does
Bingo.
sex change
Can that happen?
after you become
It shouldn't
a mom?
happen in that case,
Yes.
obviously.
Or it can't.
In
Now,
this sense, in
yes.
front of the kids.
No.
Don't have sex in front of
Of
the
course.
kids ever.
Now I'm doing a renovation to her room because she's saying that her bed is small. No problem. Still, I had to do it because her bed is very small. So yes, I'm doing a renovation. In a couple of weeks, it will be ready. And I'm so excited. I hope that my husband will be on the same page as me, because we're going to have problems. Because he is perfect at home, promise. And I say this in front of everyone.
Yes.
He is perfect with the kids. He supports me in my job. But I'm so looking forward ending the day next to him
Yes.
and not having sex. That's not about sex. Although, okay, I think about it. It's normal. I'm young. So, but at least I'm like putting my head on him, like watching a movie. I feel him.
The intimacy doesn't need to
There
be
was
there.
a
Hug
time-
him, hold me.
There was a time we used to go to their bed. You want to stay here? Stay here. We're going into yours.
I tried
Because I had
everything,
two. I had two
Alma.
in the middle most of the time. I had Jamie for 6 years in my bed between us. Then when I was pregnant with Sam, she left. So we had the out there. I felt really bad because I'm like, okay, go away because we have the baby. But then she was old enough. Then we started reading her books, me and my husband together with the baby. Like she was happy. She didn't think of her leaving the room so that Sam will take her place. And then when Amy came, Sam didn't leave. So I had two of them. My husband was on the other side of the world.
Yes.
I didn't even see his face. Amy, Sam. And then Amy started playing with my hair and she started breaking it all up. So I said, this is it. I can't have my hair like this every morning. She kept doing like this. So I said, no, she has to go to her room. But when they were there, we used to tell them, stay here. You want to watch the TV, like what you want to watch? Stay here. You can have our room. We're going to yours.
Sometimes as parents, we get so used to being parents that we forget how to be a couple. So sometimes it might be that we're so scared, we don't recognize each other enough, that this is how I know myself now as a parent. So it's difficult. Maybe it could be being afraid of being sometimes alone, because you're so used to being with the children always around you that I have people tell me we go out on a date and it feels awkward. We don't have anything to say, or, and then they just talk about the kids.
Look at the photos.
So it's sad, because then once the kids, eventually the kids will grow up and leave the house, they will leave the house, you end up not recognizing the person who you were lived with for 20 years or more, and you look at this person, who is this person? Because you changed without even realizing, and you have nothing else, to go to. So that's why it's important along the years, you still keep working on the relationship, but it has to be an intentional priority.
And the thing that I hate the most is that I have to bring it up. If I don't bring it up, this issue that I have at the moment, he's okay with it.
Yes.
So
You rightly mentioned, the intention. But let's be honest, I mean, when you have babies, your husband tends to go down in your list of priorities.
It shouldn't, but
I mean,
it depends.
I know
where,
a story where the husband left the wife because he felt he wasn't number one on her list after she had twins.
Yes, especially Stenna, ma.
I felt the same thing, but the other way around. When I had my second child, obviously my husband's child, Paris, I felt that I wasn't his number one anymore. Okay, she's our daughter, but he was giving too much priority to her. Like, I don't know, everything, it's all about her every day. And I felt I'm
Left out.
Like the third wheeler.
So with the kids, it's obvious. They are fully dependent on us. So for the kid, for us as parents, it's obvious that we love our kids. For women, even more so. They're part of us. Literally, they came out of our bodies. No, they are part. For the husbands, it's less. So in your case, this is not so common. What you're mentioning. Usually, I am more free. I meet more people who are the women who kind of sideline with their husband because of obvious needs. But so the obvious needs are there. You have to make it clear to him that you are there for him somehow, in some ways. Because the husbands, the partners experience a loss. They lost their partner. She became a mom completely now. In your case, you lost your partner because he became a dad and he forgot completely about you. So, and this is a loss that they experience. They have this confusion. Obviously, as women, we have our own confusion with the hormones, the physical, maybe still we have some pain, maybe there. But with males, the dads also experience a loss. And sometimes we forget a little bit about it.
A family member, something came, while you were talking again, something came up in my mind. A family member used to tell me when I was young, and I can clearly hear it again. She used to tell me, my kids are more important than my husband. Like, even if she had to choose, she used to say it really like, I choose my kids because they are mine, they're my blood. My husband is not mine. He can leave, he can find another woman, make another family. But I always disagreed with her since I was young.
Agree.
I used to tell her, no. I mean, first of all, it was thanks to your husband that you have your
the
kids.
kids.
And they're half his as well. And secondly, I think, like I said about my kids when we were talking before the show, I love, obviously, the three of them, but in a different way. Then I say I love my husband in a different way as well. So I love the four of them a lot. I would die for the four of them. But in a completely different way.
You also have to remember, your kids love you because you're their flesh and blood. Your husband chose to love you as a stranger.
Exactly.
Your kids have no choice. They love you
no matter
They
what.
love you no matter what. Like you love your...
Even though sometimes it doesn't feel like they love us with all the trouble they give us.
Yes, for sure. We're coming close to time, but we haven't touched upon a very important part of the relationship, which is sex.
Sex, yes, yes. She wants to
Come
talk
on.
about sex.
I want
Tell
to
us.
talk about
I
sex.
can't
want
tell
to
you
finish with
'cause I have Ava sleeping in the middle. So
I mean, let's be honest. That is one of the things, especially in the early days, but it might
Yes.
come back, which changes because no one really wants to have sex when they're going to be woken up by a crying baby
No.
or a toddler knocking on their door. How does that impact?
even when
the
you
rela-
have teens in the house, it's,
How does that impact the relationship, and does it come
A friend
back?
of mine changed it for me. I mean, I always liked, but
Coffee.
yes, Olivia.
oh my God, my friends are gonna laugh. But one of my friends, my colleagues, wrote on my guest book on my wedding. She told me, keep the flame alive. And that stayed in my head every morning, every single morning.
You have sex.
It comes like, keep the flame alive. So like even, good morning, have a nice day today, or just an emoji or something to look forward, for him to look forward to come home.
Keeping the
sort of.
spice. I love it. It's
I
good.
love
It's
it. I love
healthy.
it. Like,
Is it both ways?
I think it's me. It's always me.
Even I.
It's always me, but I don't mind, really. I don't mind. No, sometimes, from this thing, yes. Only this thing, but the messaging me.
What we are saying, like, Isu, what I encounter in therapy with my clients, that a lot of women feel pressured that even though they might not be ready to have sex, they feel pressured, like to reconnect in an intimate, physical, sexual way with their partners after having kids. And we forget that obviously for a lot of women during this time, their libido, their desire drops quite a bit. But it doesn't happen just like that. We have to understand that there might still be pain. We mentioned before, our body is completely different. So we don't feel maybe sexy or attractive, you know? So we don't feel you are not rested. So you can't really get into that. So what I would encourage the partners would be that they start the connection without the expectation of sex, meaning touching, hugging, kissing, without it having to come to end up in sex. Otherwise, what happens is that for a lot of women, a simple touch might be triggering, like it means sex. So they are completely put off with a simple touch. I'm exaggerating, maybe.
Really much.
But
But
it's
so
so
true.
true. It can mean for someone who's not really into it yet, it might feel really pressuring. So still engage in this physical contact without any expectation. Keep that alive. Eventually,
You get
the
there
sexual
slowly.
intimacy will get there. We'll get there.
God, I'm
And it doesn't have to be...
The other way around. I don't know. I think I am not normal.
No, I think you're very normal.
I think I'm not normal because I'm the one who's like, hi, Chris. You know, remember me? I'm here.
It's normal or
feel
not
like
normal. It's whatever is your reality, is your normality. So
Because even when I gave birth to my kids, I was so excited to, you know,
Yes.
I was counting the weeks.
I was asking to my gynae, like, am I okay, ready? And like,
But that's
hearing
good.
it-
That's good. But it's just a personality thing. It's a
don't
physical
know.
thing. I mean, again, if you've had like very good birth experiences, it will also contribute. You know, like if you've gone through birth trauma or you had a very
But even discussing this with my friends, it's like they are like,
Exception.
tonight,
I'm the black
we're,
sheep.
we're in a wedding, for example, tonight, so my husband will get a bit like tipsy, you know, and I'm like, oh, lucky, you know.
yes.
And I'm like, is it just me? I don't think so.
I'm the same.
No.
I'm the same. But
You
I'm the
know?
only one from my friends.
Even when like, what would you like for your birthday? And I'm like, one night stay anywhere. You know, I want that spice with my husband, even during the day. I know I'm busy, but I find that 5 minutes and I'm like, hey babe, okay, miss you. And a kiss. For me, it's
Yes.
And these are the micro, again, things that you can do when you are super busy with having newborns at home. A simple message, like as sometimes you don't see the person in the morning because they would let you sleep, for example. So a simple message, thank you, he left you maybe a cup of coffee, so he thought of you, how nice, and you find a cup of coffee there and say, thank you, I really appreciate you. Little things that matter, these little things, it's not big things, little things that matter on a daily basis. Basic things, basic gratitude, basic thank you, basic sorry, little things that these matter. These small things are starting points for when you have relationship issues, the little physical connection, little appreciation can really make a huge difference.
It's true.
It's unbelievable that it's not you don't expect massive things to happen, just little things that create a massive impact. Before, you mentioned, I said the pause button. So you don't argue, maybe it's not the time, but you pause. But whoever press the pause button is also responsible for unpausing, meaning that they find the time, the space,
to continue
the quietness,
discussing.
and the safety in the sense that you have the privacy in your home, wherever, without kids hearing, where you can continue the conversation properly. You don't just pause. That doesn't help, pausing only. The same person who pressed pause has the responsibility to unpause.
But sometimes you would have calmed down as well.
It will end up.
It depends. Because then, if it keeps being paused and it's not tackled, they come 10 years down the line. They 10 years ago, know what he did.
Not immediately, not continuous. You
Yes,
pause and you go. Sometimes
but then it's
does
good, because then you would have calmed down. You have regulated
And you're
yourself. And then you are a bit more level-headed and you have clear mind and you say what you have to say without all the shouts and yells.
And on that beautiful piece of advice, you wouldn't believe it, but we've come to the end of the show. I mean, we could have spoken for at least another hour. I think there was so much to share, but it's been so good. And thank you for being so honest. And I hope if this show doesn't do anything, it gives a little bit of hope to maybe couples who are in, the deep trenches of, will we ever get out of this? Is this the end of us?
You helped a lot. Thank you.
And because I think so many people are just giving up and not realizing that, listen, a setback, a bad phase, a bad year or two is not the end of
I would give a lot of advice. Adventurous. They used to tell me, but the kids are sleeping with you. How do you find? We have 8 other rooms in the house. Be adventurous.
Be adventurous, yes. And realize that things will evolve. Like you will grow, the relationship will grow. But like Maria said, it's the importance of the little things along the way. When you don't have time for the big things, make time for the small things. So thank you, ladies, for being with me today.
Thanks to you as well. Thank you for inviting us.
Well done.